Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Kassim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Kassim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Kassim. Today, our host is Azam Kassim. Azam, how are you?
I'm doing great, Kassim. Thank you very much for having me on today.
Thank you. So, let us know where you live and what you do.
So I live in Melbourne in Australia, and the business that we have we manufacture and distribute nutraceuticals. And we've been having this business for nearly 15 years now. Started off back in sort of 2010 when we got the registrations, and then we have been doing that ever since.
Now, that's great. So, what was the inspiration behind it?
Look, that's a bit of a lengthy answer to that question, but I come from a generation of entrepreneurs, and I always felt that black seed, which is the area which we focus on, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail. But so the black seed in particular, or Nigella seed, or black cumin, there's a whole range of different names for it. But our focus is around the black seed. Different countries have different names for it, but our focus was around that. And I felt justice hadn't been done to that particular ingredient in terms of science. So the black seed is quite well known in different parts of the world, whether it be certain parts of Asia, Middle East, but not so much here in Australia or even the Americas. So we felt that, we had to get the word out there and talk about this amazing ingredient. There's been a lot of references, whether it be in the Bible, whether it be in Islamic literature. There's been a lot of references to the black seed, but we felt it hadn't been approached from a scientific angle and from a clinical trial perspective. So my ambition and my vision was to change that. So when we started off the business, one of the biggest ambitions that I had at the time was, how can I get the word out there? How can I educate consumers on the existence of black seed and then the benefits of black seed out there? So we started our journey quite humble and quite small. The warehouse was my garage. Back in the day, so a lot of the stock used to come in. My front hall or the living area was where the stock was, and the garage was where all the boxes were stacked up. The orders used to go out from there. We started off with a basic WordPress website back in the day, and used to get excited about heading out to the post office and shipping out to orders. But over the years, thanks to God, we managed to slowly but surely grow the business. And, today, we're sitting in about 4,000 stores across Australia. We're exporting to about 9 different countries. And, as we go along, we like to see how we can get the word and get the information out there about the existence of black seed to all consumers around the world.
That's great. So, tell me a little bit about challenges, because challenges are the main story in every business. So let me know about some challenges that you have faced in the start.
Sure. So I think some of the biggest challenges for me is the education bit. As I mentioned, black seed was not very well known in these parts of the world. So what we had to do is we had to go out there and educate consumers. Says, look, this is the black seed. This is the mighty seed that could be taken in its seed form, could be taken in its oil form. It's one of the best immune boosting supplements around. And in the last sort of 20 to 30 years, there has been a lot of ingredients that we use in our kitchens, and now those ingredients are coming to us in a medicine form, whether it be turmeric, whether it be ashwagandha, whether it be black cumin or black pepper, and all of these amazing ingredients that have been being used for generations by our parents and grandparents and the like. And now they're coming in tablet forms and oil forms and capsules formats, So I think one of the biggest challenges that we had there was initially talking about the black seed and educating people. Go, oh, what the hell is black seed? That's new. Never heard that one before. And then, sort of going through the motions and talking about the history, a little bit about the history of the black seed. It was originally found in the tomb of Tutankhamun over 3,000 years ago. That's the history of the product, So it's not a product that's sort of, come out in the recent past. us. It's been around there for a long time. Originally used as a spice as well. A lot of cultures use it in cooking. They use it on their breads as well, so it gives a beautiful aroma. But also when the seed is crushed, as we do, we import the seed coming in because the seed is not grown here in Australia. We import the seed coming in out of India, and we import organic certified seeds. Then we go on to cold press the seeds to get the oil, and then we use that oil in our product. And now over the last sort of 3 to 4 years, what we've also done is we've come up with more novel products and use more exciting and innovative extraction methods to derive certain compounds and constituents from the black seed. So over the years, people have always found, look, I know black seed works, but what makes the black seed really tick? What makes it special? So we've actually managed to go down that path and identified there is a particular compound in the black seed called TQ or thymoquinone. That particular ingredient in the black seed is very unique to black seed, and in nature it's found only in the black seed or the black cumin seed. So what we managed to do is we managed to go into the black seed and extract and isolate that particular compound, and now we have products that are very high in the thymoquinone. The standard products you would get off your shelf would be in the range of 0.75 to 1% TQ, but now we have got products that are sitting at 5% standardized thymoquinone, which means that the efficacy of the product is a lot higher, the concentration, and thereby the bioavailability, how it's going to work in our body is a lot better, how it's absorbed into our gut is a lot better, and thereby the product being a lot more efficacious to us, whether it be from an immune system perspective or from an anti-inflammatory perspective. Controlling your blood sugar has been one of the main areas that we've been focusing on for the black seed for the last few years, and we felt that over the years, one of the reasons for our success has been that customers have used the product, spoken about the product, and mouth to mouth, the word has got around. That has been one of our main points of success. So, and I think, again, addressing more challenges, finding a distributor. Back in the day when black seed was not very well known, that also was one of our biggest challenges, which, it took us a little bit of time. The Australian regulations and the compliance, there is an authority here called the TGA, or Therapeutic Goods Administration of Australia, and they're known to be one of the strictest in the world. We managed to get our approvals through them as well. And then as the years went on, we managed to launch new products and slowly but surely grow the business.
Great. So I would like to understand who is your targeted audience. First of all, let me know what is the ratio of retail and online sales?
Sure. Look, when we started off the business, it was predominantly retail because we didn't put too much focus on our website back in the day. But thankfully, about 2 to 3 years before COVID, before the pandemic, we really started putting a lot of resources behind our website. And look, it paid off during COVID, thankfully. It was a good time for us. And we put a lot of eggs in that particular basket of online. And, that grew from strength to strength. So as we stand as at today, our business is sitting at about 60% online and 40% retail.
That's great. That's a great number. So when you are selling at 60% online, so you must be doing some marketing as well. So first of all, who is your audience? Who is going to buy online from you? Have you segregated it upon the age or some other parameters?
Absolutely. Yeah, look, over the years, we've sort of done a whole range of different surveys, and we've adopted a whole range of different methods to identify who our exact audience is and who the cohort is. And look, we've narrowed it down to a great extent to sort of narrowing it down from 35 years old to sort of 65 in females. That's our primary audience. What we've also seen is that here in Australia, particularly the older audience, the older generation, sort of ranging from sort of 55 all the way up to sort of 70, are big followers and users of our products as well. So that's been great. Back in 2019, we managed to secure a nationwide TV story, which was, aired on national television. And that also was from a gentleman who was a 101-year-old World War II veteran who had been taking our product and who had some amazing experiences with our product. And, the business naturally benefited from that particular segment. But yeah, that's how we managed to segment, and those are the audiences and demographics of our products.
Yeah, that's great for sure. So, I believe, in the time of COVID, your product was really popular because we believe that there's Shifa as well in these seeds. So, how you managed it in that time, and how you were doing marketing at that time?
Look, during COVID, no doubt was an interesting time, positives and negatives. I wouldn't say it was all positive. And the reason for that was it was unanticipated growth, right? We had demand coming through our years. We didn't expect that much of a demand. We were not ready with that much stock, unfortunately. I wish we had more stock, but that's the reality. And look, and one of the other benefits that we had was that, not the benefit, or rather a negative that we had was during that time, one of our factories actually caught on fire. And during our manufacturing stage, this was in June of 2020. So this was a big upset. But look, we managed to push on and really sort of get through that period. And in terms of marketing, look, we've sort of used a whole range of different digital methods during COVID and even now, whether it be through Facebook or Meta advertising, using Instagram, using TikTok videos, using PPC through Google, and now over the last sort of 3 to 4 years, using user-generated content and using UGC and a whole range of videos that we get out there, and educating consumers again and how the different ways that the product can be used, how different consumers have used the product and how they've benefited from the product. And also email marketing has been another strong suit of ours. We've managed to collate a large database of customers because we've been around for quite a while, and that has also helped us to sort of get the word out there and grow the business.
Yeah, that's great. So, when you were doing this marketing online as well, like what method you adapted at that time? Like you were advertising it in some specific areas, or you were just broadcasting whoever is in the Australia, or maybe whoever is in the world and looking for this product, you are giving them?
Yeah, look, we did something interesting, and this was guided by our social media company at the time, was that we went quite heavy at the beginning of COVID in terms of getting audiences coming in. So just sort of top of the funnel, really sort of pushed it hard. And as the year of 2020 and 2021 progressed, what we did was we've used that data that we had off the top of the funnel and then sort of retargeted them as well. So I think Facebook was one of the primary, or Meta now was one of the primary methods that we use to sort of collate customers and sort of target customers. And we use a whole range of different cohorts, whether it be from people, looking for natural alternatives. And at that time during COVID, again, it was a very interesting time because people were always looking for natural alternatives,
Yeah.
So I think that was quite, the timing was right, thankfully, and we managed to make best of the times.
Yeah, that's it. So, in terms of marketing, you have some in-house arrangements for this thing, and are you are outsourcing this thing in this marketing department? And on the other hand, what were your responsibilities in this whole scenario?
Yeah, good question. Look, at the time, during the beginning of COVID, we did have a social media company that was taking care of things for us. But then as times progressed, we realized that we wanted to bring it in-house. We did. So we sort of built a team in-house, whether it be for media buying, whether it be for, coming up with the creatives, whether it be for email marketing. We managed to sort of build our team in-house, and we really started pushing through that. And we found that to be a lot more beneficial. And that way we were able to sort of control the different trigger points and be able to sort of really push them as we needed.
All right. So, do you use influencer marketing as well?
We do, yes. We've got a whole range of influencers that we work with at the moment, and we've got a different affiliate programs that we have linked with our website. We've got different review programs that we have, and we sort of really capitalize on all of those to see how we can sort of take it to the next level.
Great. So, how do you measure the success of your business?
Now, look, measuring, we've got, again, a range of different software that we've got linked with our Shopify website, and it essentially looks at the whole range of different criteria and the different benchmarks that we have with the industry, and also the different, whether it be, the CPA, whether it be the ROAS, and a whole range of different factors that we take into consideration to look at the different points that we want to measure for our success. So obviously different products have different points or different measures of success. So we've got a whole different structure that's linked with our website, and we use a range of attribution software as well that sort of identifies where the traffic is coming from, and then we sort of measure this and then keep improving as we go along.
All right. So, in terms of your short-term goals, what are you thinking, like where you will be after 3 to 6 months?
Look, in the recent past, we've sort of changed our structure a little bit. We have now sort of come up with a new brand as well for certain markets. So Hab Shifa being our flagship brand, but then we've also launched another new brand, which we're putting out in the market quite soon. And in terms of short-term goals, we're looking at some of the bigger markets now, like the US. So we set up an office in California last year, and now we're trying to see how we can. We've been in the US market for a little while. We've been in Canada for about 6 years already. Our products are approved by Health Canada as well, which again took a while to get, but thankfully we managed to obtain that. And now we're looking at some of the markets in Asia. So a lot of our focus is going on the export markets, because we've been in Australia for quite a while and we sort of know the market to a great extent. And now we're trying to see how we can, go across the waters and capture some of the other export markets.
Just like you said, you said, yeah, like you are going to start your brand in USA as well. So, and in terms of your presence in USA, I think you have started from the California, right?
Correct.
And like, what are you doing for your presence in US other than this?
Yeah, look, in the US, the structure is slightly different. We're in Australia because we're a small population here. We're 25 million people, compared to California alone is a lot more than that. So we're taking a more of a structured and a phased approach in the US. So we're starting with a sort of state-based approach, and then we'll start off with California, and then slowly sort of work our way upwards. As opposed to sort of going right through the country, because we know that'll be a bit much for us. So we thought we'll start off slowly. And as we go along, as we start seeing some of the success, we'll really sort of ramp it up from there.
All right. So, Adam, what would be your biggest piece of advice for our viewers? And yes, our viewers are mostly all of our viewers are founders. So, what will you suggest them?
Look, my the biggest piece of advice that I can give would be is don't give up, because sometimes you'll notice that at certain times of the business, you'll realize that sort of everything is sort of either coming down, or my cash flow is running low, or look, I tried this method for the last 6 months and it really hasn't worked. And this is the only cards that I got. But that's the point in time we need to start looking sort of outside the box to see, all right, what other methods can I use? What other strategies can I use? And sort of keep pushing along. But also making sure you're taking a calculated approach towards your growth, and not just putting all your eggs in one basket and sort of going all out. Some companies can afford to do that because they've got deep pockets, but other companies, have to sort of take a calculated and a measured approach, saying, all right, we want to sort of start seeing these results for this point in time. And then once we've seen these results, we really sort of take it to the next level. So really sort of keep pushing hard. You got to put in the hours, because if you don't put in the hours, you're not going to see results. And that's the biggest piece of advice I can give.
That's a beautiful advice for sure. So let us know how we can reach you. In fact, let our viewers know how they can reach you. You can share your website and your social media handle if you want to.
Sure. So our website's Hab Shifa. That's habshifa.com.au. That's our website. And, we've got a whole range of, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. And the Instagram handle is also at Hab Shifa, and similar to Facebook and Instagram. So we'll love to hear back from anybody. I'm happy to help out any other founders that need a bit of assistance with any sort of advice. But again, thank you very much for having me on this podcast.
Thanks, Azam. I really enjoyed this conversation. So nice of you. Thanks for joining us today. Have a
It's been
good
a
day.
pleasure, buddy. Thank you very much.
Bye.